Okay, well, this appears to be unranked, but... oh well? I'm gonna go with oh well. I think we're just playing turn 2 Fledgling, turn 3 Fledgling Florahedron as a land drop here. Or are we playing the mirror match? That'd potentially be exciting. I somehow doubt we're playing the Fearless Fledgling mirror match. But we are apparently playing the Tangled Florahedron mirror match. Works for me. Alright, let's get the Lair of the Hydra down. Start growing our fledglings. Not quite as exciting as playing a Kodama here. Although if we top deck Kodama, this goes kind of insane, kind of quickly. Wow. We are playing, like, a lot of mirror match here. Esika's Chariot's kind of tempting. I feel like I should probably just develop the blockers rather than go for the guaranteed Wrenn next turn. But I'm currently being kind of surprised by how much these fledglings are becoming a significant clock rather quickly. Yeah, that's a Wrenn. It even makes a token that has reach. Okay. Well, we're gonna make our land drop. Then I guess I could fire up Lair of the Hydra for 2 here. Swing with a cat. Oh, yeah, because I can use the Lair of the Hydra to crew the Chariot, so we get to swing with the cat. That actually works totally fine. I was debating whether I wanted to swing with the Lair, because I don't actually want to lose it, but I don't have to swing with the Lair. So we get to swing with cat at Wrenn, Chariot at opponent's face, Fearless Fledglings at opponent's face, copycats. And the opponent kind of just has to trade off here and lose the Wrenn? That seems pretty awful for them. Considering my board still sort of awesome. I might be about to play a Wrenn and uptick it to make a land drop to give the Fearless Fledgling flying again, depending on what my opponent does. Circle of Confinement? No! This gets rid of birds! Valkmira? Opponent? That seems slightly silly. I kind of want to uptick this to make a land drop, though. Fine, I'll downtick. Alright. We get to punch the opponent for 3. We have a giant 5/5 in play. If the opponent plays a Wrenn and a land drop, they make a 6/6, which we should be able to handle. Storm the Festival. Alright. This is, by and large, much of a mirror. Wow, this is a lot of a mirror. Brutal Cathar. Painful. Okay, well. Wrenn, uptick, find an untap land. Successfully so. Storm the Festival in the graveyard, sure. Alright, let's find some Felidar Retreats. Perfect. If I put a land into play alongside Felidar Retreat, does that immediately trigger? I feel like it probably does. Let's find out. It does. Cool. Alright, let's put +1/+1 counters on everybody. Let's go ahead and... Our opponent gets to eat one of these with the Kodama, but the other 2 creatures die. I think that's fine for me. Okay. Opponent takes 2 and loses a mana dork. I think I'm definitely happy with that. Wow. Yeah, this is like so much of a mirror. Huh. The unranked matchfinder has some interesting tendencies, 'twould seem. I don't know if this works as effective as Lee as you were hoping, opponent. Maybe they have a removal spell or a pump spell, but I'm going to attempt to trade, well, trade one cat with the Kodama. No, okay. I feel like if they had a removal spell, they weren't supposed to attack with both of them at the Planeswalker and were instead supposed to throw one at my face to get a Kodama trigger, but yeah, whatever. Okay, so Esika's Chariot here, I think, and then Kodama, and then land drop. I think I actually crew the Chariot first and then make the land drop, putting a +1/+1 counter on everything. That way I can crew the Chariot on their turn with the Kodama and have essentially a 4/5 for blocking. Field Trip gets to learn something. Does that matter? Oh, I should have played the Tangled Florahedron so I could Storm the Festival next turn. I was thinking there was a chance I wanted to play Tangled Florahedron as a creature, but yeah, that actually was a significant difference in terms of what I can do next turn. Have access to an untapped land instead. Containment Breach, I'm assuming, tries to go after Felidar Retreat? They could technically try to go after Esika's Chariot, but I don't think that works terribly well for them. I guess they have Vigilance. Okay. Why have we fired up Lair of the Hydra? Oh, so it can become a creature? Okay. Well, this is why I animated the Chariot last turn, so that it would be big enough to block the Cathar in this spot. So they only get the one land drop, which is enough to, like, put counters on everything, but probably not enough to not die, I don't think. They can blow up something, either Chariot or Retreat, but all my stuff... Well, okay, I guess they do still have Valkmir, which actually does make it kind of hard for me to lethal with trample damage. Because Valkmir soaks up 1 trample damage to the creature and 1 trample damage to the face. Wait, hold on. How does assigning trample damage with Valkmir work? Can I assign one... If I have a 3-power creature with trample and they block with a 1/1 Lair of the Hydra, can I assign 1 damage to the Lair that gets reduced to 0 and then assign 2 damage to their face that gets reduced to 1? Is that a legal assignment of damage, or do I have to actually assign 2 damage to the Lair of the Hydra before I can assign any trample damage? Okay, they elect not to kill the Felidar Retreat. Sure. So next turn, my opponent gets to fire off Storm the Festival, so I would prefer to kill them here if possible. So is that possible? Think we can assign 1 to the creature and the rest to face? I kind of suspect that's what it is, but I don't know for sure. Okay, so if I uptick Wrenn and hit an untapped land, I could play the untapped land, put a +1/+1 counter on everything, and in response to that, animate Lair for 2, which turns it into a 3/3. Then I have a 5-power attacker that gets blocked by their 5/4, and 2 4/4s that each do 1. Oh, does that not actually matter? Whether I make the Lair of the Hydra bigger or not? think it doesn't matter. I might be doing the math wrong, but I'm gonna not bother to find out. Because having a 10/10 to block also sounds cool. Yeah, that happens, that I think gets 1 damage through, that happens, which I think gets 1 damage through, and this happens, which I think gets 1 damage through. Gameplay. Auto-assign combat damage. No, I definitely don't want that on. Yes, okay, so I can assign 2 damage to the cat and 2 damage to face, which results in the cat not dying, and them taking 1 trample damage. I'd like to do the same again. Okay, cool. Useful to learn. That actually is how that works. I do not have to kill the creature in front before I do damage to their face. Wow, educational. Okay, well, we have a hand where we get to go Katilda into Chariot, and that's probably good. I'm assuming I'm not supposed to Emergent Sequence early if I have any other mana dork I can play? Alright, well, Cave of the Frost Dragon was a punishment for having played the Plains, I suppose. Specifically because Emergent Sequence can, in later points in the game, wind up... what's the word I'm looking for? Triggering Felidar Retreat? So you only had to assign damage equal to the toughness, even if that's not lethal. Yes, because as far as the damage assignment was concerned, let's get rid of the Storm of the Festival, which ain't stellar. But as far as that damage assignment is concerned, the 2 damage is assigning lethal. It just so happens that when damage is actually dealt instead of assigned, modifications happen. That's, like, definitely not the correct card to take. Curious. Okay. I would love to top deck Felidar Retreat. Nope, just to Storm the Festival. Bummer. This takes 6. How disappointing. This enters tapped, so it doesn't actually matter. Alright, well, unfortunately we're trading Esika's Chariot off with the Spellbinder here, but I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to do that. I'm going to assume my opponent's not playing... board wipes? They think they're going to win before Storm becomes a factor? Maybe. That seems difficult. And I continue to believe it is going to be difficult. Oh, hey, Felidar Retreat. Wow, alright, that's awful tempting. Get that down before storming the festival? But what if we storm the festival first? And hit a Felidar Retreat? It could be anything. 2 Felidar Retreats? Just 1 Felidar Retreat. Okay, well, Felidar Retreat Kodama seems like a fun time. And then we play our land drop and put a +1/+1 counter on everybody. And then we go ahead and attack. No, come back, opponent. We're gonna have fun. Opponent, there's gonna be so much fun happening. Come back. We were only gonna put... what, 2 cats in play and more +1/+1 counters on everything? Admittedly, most of that is turn 3 Chariot on the play is pretty good, but that's still delightful. I think I have to keep this even though it lacks white sources, just because, like, turn 2 ramp spell into Chariot is so strong. The most likely best of 1 deck that could have a good answer to Chariot is probably going to be a white-black mid-range list, and those lists tend to be so weak to Yasharn that I'm just okay with that anyway. Luckily, draw white source, so that's stellar. Any particular reason for playing green-white today? I kind of just wanted to try Felidar Retreat aggro at some point, and why not today? Thoughts on Selesnya enchantment decks? They seem decent. Like, actively pretty solid. I'm not sure whether the Naya versions are better or not, but yeah, they seem like completely playable aggro lists. Okay. Getting my Esika's Chariot Skyclaved Apparition does not feel like the worst thing in the world at all. Anyway, we're going to play Yasharn here so that the Allenbach Escort can't sacrifice itself. Does that matter? I don't know. But we're going to stop it. Any reason not to play a couple of Ashaya? I don't know what to cut for it. I like most of the cards that are here. Brutal Cathar. Getting rid of Yasharn. Oh no. My opponent's exiled all my stuff, but like... I don't feel like I care at all. Ooh. Oh, Chariot, so tempting. We could do that instead of playing Storm the Festival. All these options seem so good and so powerful. I'm down to take a look at a Shigeki list after this game. Just remind me of that. Otherwise I'll forget. Alright, let's go ahead and just make this board wider. Why not? Maybe a Fearless and a Wrenn? I feel like Wrenn is probably just a lot stronger than Ashaya. Most likely. And Fearless Fledgling... I don't know how good it is, but one of these days we're going to get to do turn 2 Fearless Fledgling into turn 3 Kodama, and it's going to be really cool. I mean, maybe that just isn't actually good. I don't know. No! Raidane, the taxes! My Storm in the Festival, it's so expensive. Well, I guess it's not actually castable, is it? Okay, well, here we are then. Alright, well, we're gonna need to draw a land, but the hand is too spicy to not keep. But we're really gonna need to draw a land. We can do that, right? We can do that, right? We can do that, right, deck? Definitely can draw a land. Alright, opponent's on Naya aggro. Drew the land. Stellar. I'm assuming I'm supposed to lead on Chariot. Now we will find out if we can actually outpace this Naya deck. Runeforge Champion, free runes, yep. Here it comes. Rune of Might, sure. First 0 mana card. Jukai Naturalist is a 3/3. Rune of Sustenance. Okay, second free card. With the enchantments deck floating around, would it be a bad idea putting in one of each of the legendary lands? I had the green one originally. Didn't bother keeping it because I wanted to play more basics. Whether or not that actually matters, I don't know. Wow, opponent doesn't want to trade with my Chariot with their Jukai Naturalist? I'm so surprised. Okay. Plains is, I suppose, interesting. Alright, let's go ahead and swing with Chariot. I don't think the opponent would want to trade off here, but if they do, maybe I wind up playing the Chariot. Next main phase? They don't. I probably still wouldn't. Getting the 6th land for Storm the Festival feels like a pretty good deal here. How are they casting the auras for free? Runeforge Champion makes the auras cost 1 generic mana, and Jukai Naturalist makes that cost 1 less. Alright, well, Generous Visitor. Although, did they actually use up... Oh, they actually used up all of their runes already, it would seem. Not where they want to be. That has them sort of being at the point where they fizzle. Alright, well, I think I stormed the festival here. Youch. That's awful. I could just Chariot to make 2 2/2s, or I could make lands to have lands. I'm assuming I'm supposed to make lands to have lands. I'm pretty sure I was supposed to pre-combat that on the chance that I hit a Felidar Retreat. Plus, like, 1 land. Restoration of my Ganjo. Opponent gets to pump Jukai Naturalist. Not yet out of range of anything. They get a land drop. Wedding announcement. Yeah, alright. Runeforge Champion, now out of range of some random stuff, so harder to attack with Esika's Chariot. Although I could just play Wrenn and sack attack with the Chariot. What is this attack, opponent? Oh, they desperately want to draw the card. Gotcha. Instead of making the 1/1. Oh, or we could hit Felidar Retreat. Gotcha. Yeah, that works just fine. Okay, so we go with Felidar Retreat. We crew the Chariot. We play the Plains. We put +1/+1 counters on everybody. We play the Wrenn and Seven. We downtick the Wrenn and Seven. We go to combat. We attack with the Yasharn and the Chariot. We make a copy of the Wrenn token. Opponent concedes. Ooh, retrieve socks. Okay. I'll go do that while we wait for the opponent to concede. That's unfortunate. I forgot we had Esika's Chariot, so it was going to pause priority. Ooh. Generous Visitor back. Need to go back. Thanks for the follow. Ooh. Also, I am Weasel Smurf. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Okay. Opponent successfully found an aura. Card draw achieved. Now they just need to figure out a way to make that matter against 2 8/8s with reach. They did not appear to have figured out a way to make that matter against 2 8/8s with reach. Okay. Uptick Wrenn. Found some lands. Storm the Festival. Can I cast that? I can't? I can't? No, I can't. Alright. Land drop. +1/+1 counter on everything. Storm the Festival. Kodama? Kodama for trample. Land drop, why not? +1/+1 counter on everybody. Combat. Oh, wait, no. Crew up Chariot, combat, swing with everybody. Oh, I should have crewed up Chariot earlier in response. Now it doesn't have Vigilance and it doesn't have a counter. Shoot. I'm bad at this. Am I going to try out the new Alchemy tomorrow? Yeah, I guess, is tomorrow when it goes live? I mean, I'll be trying it today, too. I don't know that Alchemy will change particularly much. So they need a removal spell here, because all of our creatures have trample, and then they also need a board wipe, because all of our creatures are lethal. That's true. We did need the counter on Kodama to crew it. Okay. Oh, I can probably turn back auto-assign damage now. Oh, hey, look, we had lethal. You know, the sad part is we still haven't actually gotten to use this Kodama trigger at all, because every time we've put Kodama in play, we've immediately won with, like, 40 trample damage, which seems like a lot. Alright, once again, we do not lose the dice roll, because that is not a thing we do. But we also don't have turn 3 Chariot for the first time, so this may wind up being a disappointing curve out compared to the way the rest of these games have gone. Howdy, Lone Delphi. How goes it? Unfortunately, we've drawn like every card that doesn't synergize with Kodama of the West Tree, which is a bit of a bummer. Enchantments again? Oh no! Oh, Eater of... Wait, no, Eater of Virtue is not enchantment. Okay, well... Well. I'm assuming I'm probably just supposed to play Yasharn, but maybe I'm supposed to play Wedding Announcement? I'm probably just supposed to play Yasharn. That way I can go thin my deck of 2 lands, have a big creature in play, then next turn go Tangled Florahedron plus a Wedding Announcement. Kami of Transience, okay. Presumably put Eater of Virtue on that. Wait, that hasn't... Wait. Exiling Kami of Transience doesn't seem like the synergy you're looking for, if I'm being entirely honest. I don't know about that one. Hey! Aaron Gerler! Thanks for the raid. How'd the stream go? And to everybody showing up now, you join us playing a very silly green-white Kodama deck in standard best of 1 that for some reason hasn't lost yet. Okay, yeah, so... Opponent does not have a Kami of Transience in their graveyard now. It's technically, I guess, sort of synergy. It means Eater of Virtue gives stuff trample. Okay, so I can play Plains and pass here. And, oh no, I can actually play Lair of the Hydra and pass here, because Tangled Florahedron makes mana. And then I can activate Katilda on the end of their turn, give all of my creatures +1/+1 counters, including 1 from the Wedding Announcement, and then the turn after that, play Kodama and attack and get a bunch of land drops. But so far they're not doing anything. I gotta say, the best of 1 metagame is a weird place. Runeforge Champion. Okay. I still don't understand how that synergizes with Eater of Virtue. But we can make a 3/4 lifelinker. Or we could choose not to play Rune of Sustenance? Alright. Well, we're gonna... Oh, I needed to play an untapped land. That's not how Katilda works. Right, it costs 7 mana because you can't tap Katilda for the 6. That's a problem. Okay, well, probably wasn't correct to do nothing with this turn, but here we are. You are right. This token taps for mana, because this is not a vampire token. Oh. No, that's a good point. That's a good point. Oh, that's what the Eater of Virtue is supposed to be. You put the runes on it. Okay, sure, I guess. I totally forgot that, like, Katilda has synergy with humans. I had assumed we had no humans in the deck. Okay. Bone's got a big Runeforge Champion with trample. That is technically a problem for me. Okay, well... I'm going to gonna go with, I would like my opponent to not kill me here, and hopefully that happens, but it seems not terribly likely. Okay. Opponent's willing to trade off a Jukai Naturalist with the Tangled Florahedron. Works for me. We get to put 3 lands into play. Boop-a-boop. 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 We get to draw a card. Emergent Sequence. Yeah, that's fine. Well, we certainly have a lot of mana now. Still have to sort of accomplish the not dying thing, though. I guess I can block with Kodama of the West Tree this turn? Storm the Festival? That sounds like a fun card. What if it hits... what's the name of that enchantment? You know, the good enchantment in our deck. What if it just hits that? Hey, it succeeded. Cool. Alright, well... I'm going to assume that means I win now. I'm going to just attack with everything and pretend this wins the game now. Does it? Might not. How much is this? 15, 22... If I activate Katilda, it's 26. So not quite lethal. But we're going to put 4 lands into play for blockers anyway. Probably was supposed to not get the land and was supposed to get the reach creature off of Wrenn instead. Kind of didn't count and thought we had lethal, so I didn't need to bother. And what's the next best thing to do? I guess I probably don't need to tap anything here. We're sort of fine because Kodama has reach, but we are in an awkward spot. If the opponent successfully kills the Kodama, then we die. We're going to see how much we can play around that, though. I have nothing I can do at instant speed, so I guess I might as well just Wedding Announcement here. Does this matter? I don't know. I guess I'll make more cats. I'm going to go with the ordering on this was suboptimal. But I don't really know what I'm doing either. The land has reach? Which land has reach? I think Kodama's the only thing that has reach. I wonder if they've been hoodwinked by sneaky green reach. I feel like that might be what just happened. Shown under the Scalds. Okay. Feel like we can handle that. That does not seem like my opponent is accelerating terribly quickly. Okay, well, I continue to think I'm not piloting this deck well, but it does seem like it continues to do sort of impressive things. Still haven't really gotten to see what this deck does on the draw yet, but I don't know. Okay, well, we won the dice roll again, but this time around we actually have the really fun line of we might not play a turn 3 4-drop. We might actually be going Fearless Fledgling into Kodama. That'll be fun. think it's better than playing the Tangled Florahedron here. No, opponent. Why do we play burn spells? So incredibly rude. Okay, we're gonna play Tangled Florahedron and Cave of the Frost Dragon. If our opponent has another burn spell to remove the Tangled Florahedron, then we just play Yasharn, which is big. And if they don't kill the Florahedron, then we play Wrenn and Seven, which also has keyword big. This is sort of a landfall deck. I would not say that this is not a landfall deck. Between Fearless Fledgling and the Felidar Retreat, we have a lot of landfall triggers. Like, perhaps more than any other competitive deck in the history of this standard format. So unfortunately, our mono-red opponent has thus far successfully answered all of our stuff, which is very rude. I guess I'm probably supposed to kill the pit fighter rather than the etchings. On the off chance they want to loot something away. I don't know what they might want to loot away, implying this is competitive. I mean, I haven't lost, and I'm at Mythic rank 32. Like, I wouldn't imply this is competitive, but I can't entirely imply that it isn't competitive so far. Alright, more etchings, bigger creatures. I assume the opponent trades in etchings for Wrenn? No, just face. Face all day. Never not face. Live the face life. I respect the opponent. Just mono 2-for-1s over on my side of the table. Oh. Alright, well, Storm the Festival seems kind of fun. Start by upticking Wrenn. I think I'm going to Storm the Festival. Okay, we're going to play Esika's Chariot and Felidar Retreat. This seems like a good idea. I feel like we're probably going to win this game. Again. Which would continue the trend of the 100% win rate while on the play. Yeah, kudos to the opponent for just the absolute refusal to give up. I would rather lose the Chariot, since I have to crew it, and honestly, having more creatures means more Kodama triggers, and more things to put +1/+1 counters on. I'm confused to just one game one and I'm on the play in an aggro mirror. Oh, your opponent decided that your match was somehow going to be about card advantage? And so they wanted to be on the draw? Ooh, yes, thank you for killing my Esika's Chariot, opponent. That's the creature that I cared about less. Okay, so let's see here. I get to go Kodama, Fearless Fledgling, Landdrop, Florahedron, attack with the squad? Oh, okay, or the game could be over. I was gonna zero that Wrenn and Seven. It was gonna be great. It probably wouldn't have been, because I couldn't put Tangled Florahedron into play. What I wanted to do was like Kodama, Fearless Fledgling, play a Landdrop, Emergent Sequence. I guess I could still do that and downtick the Wrenn, and then connect with 2 cats, and like have 30 stats on the board at the end of this turn. It's too bad the opponent didn't let us do that. So we did finally lose the coin flip. Now for the true test. Oh, the true test being mono green. Alright, I have a very bad feeling about this one. It begins. Am I supposed to trade off? Well, nope, not an option. Chariot, 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 chariot. Oh. Not a fun Boseiju, huh? No chariot. Okay. Well, wedding announcement. This is not a great start. You sure you didn't want to attack with the other pack leader opponent? You could have made it a 2 toughness creature. I wouldn't have good blocks in that case. Chariot, chariot, chariot. Just a land drop. Not helpful. Okay. Well, am I dead? Chump block, go to 2. I'm only mostly dead. Now, if I don't have to lose too many creatures here, which looks like is not going to be likely. Okay, well, I had to lose a lot of creatures here. So much for the plan of maybe being able to stabilize next turn. That does not appear to be the case. I think if I had like one more creature here, we had a chance. But the fight spell really put a damper on that. Technically, we're still not dead. Not immediately. This might actually still be doable. This might not be doable. Don't those swings not actually work, opponent? Oh, they do. I still have to trade off everything. Dang. Wow, this was close. Any way that I can make this work? Not that I can see. That's a shame. Wrenn, down tick. Land drop. Still dead. Wrenn puts them into play tapped, right? Yeah, so I can't make 2 tokens and then play Kodama. Brutal. Well, very much feel like I would have won this game on the play, but not quite on the draw. You're like, in so many ways, just barely almost stable. But this deck really relies on actually having a board state that it can scale off of, and the opponent did a good job of keeping us just barely at the edge of not enough creatures to be relevant every single turn. Well, if I had like a 0-1 put on my board at any random turn in that game, I think it would have been enough to win. Okay, well, once again, we're kind of given the question of do we want to try to play the Fearless Fledgling into Kodama game plan, or just ramp with Tangled Florahedron game plan? I feel like the Fearless Fledgling game plan is probably actually more reliable here since we don't have some 4-drop like Chariot to ramp into. We have Felidar Retreat, but that actually isn't like a bonkers on curve 4-drop. Panda Combo Gaming, thanks for the follow. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Alright, I want my fledgling to survive and be good. I really want this card to actually go nuts. I'm really, really hoping we get to see it. Oh, 2 Felidar Retreats with a Kodama? Please, deck, I'm begging you, let this happen. Mostly the opponent actually is the one I'm begging, to be entirely honest. Come on, opponent. No kills a birdie. No kills a birdie. Yes! 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 You can have this wedding announcement, opponent, I don't care. Well, actually, you can have lands? I kind of want lands for Felidar Retreat, though. On the off chance they kill Kodama. Alright, wedding announcement. Who needs those? Not me. Okay, well, we can also just draw a wedding announcement, I suppose. Kodama, swing with Fledgling, bunch the opponent, put a land into play, put more counters on Fledgling. Ollenbach Escort actually is one that's sort of interesting. That might be reasonable to include, but doesn't get counters. That's the tough part. What you got for me, opponent? You gonna remove my birdie? No, my birdie! Rest in peace, birdie. You did your job well. Alright, so now we get to play Felidar Retreat. And pump the Kodama. And attack with Kodama. And get a land. And make some kitties. I think this deck might be good with some life gain over the wedding announcements, like 2 announcement and out and 2 life gainers. Yeah, I don't know. Wedding announcement is interesting in the sense that it provides a lot of power to the board and card draw, and then also anthems when you're not doing Felidar Retreat stuff. I don't know how good that is, but it feels like it's probably good for the deck's redundancy. In terms of when you're not comboing off, it's something strong to do. Maybe that's not ultimately necessary. I don't know. Feels cool, though. Alright, let's go ahead and play a Felidar Retreat. And then play a land. Oh, how are these stacked? Okay, so this one's going to resolve last. So I want that to be the counters. And then this one's going to be the cat that comes into play first. Cool. Then we go to combat and swing with everybody. Yeah, and then we trample. Alright, and then we put lands into play. So this is the first land trigger. So both of these make cats. You make a cat, you make a cat. Then this land trigger. And the first one puts counters, and the next one makes cats. Then we play a wedding announcement. I guess I could have just made all cats, I suppose. And then put the counters on stuff with my land drop naturally for the next turn. But the opponent might make me discard both my cards in hand, so that'd be risky. I guess I could have put 2 counters on things so that this cat survived land drop into... what do you call it? Mythic Massacre? But, yeah, alright. Kodama plus Felidar Retreat feels pretty good. I think that's the lesson here. Okay. I think this is the first not stellar 7 we've looked at. Which, to me, I think despite being excellent, this is a mulligan. Okay, this is better. So I figure we keep this. We ship wedding announcement. and we just keep land drops, Fledgling, Kodama, Storm the Festival. Playing against mono red means our Fledgling's probably going to die, which is not a good sign. I'm sort of sad that I bought him Wedding Announcement against mono red. Not stellar. Or we could just draw Wedding Announcement. Okay, never mind. No problems here. Never problems. Alright, so the opponent has a burn spell that'll hit Fledgling. No, they go face! I hope that doesn't mean they're just going to play like Chain Whirler or something. No. Okay. Well, they commit to shocking it at sorcery speed, which I guess could be worse for me. So I could play Kodama to block the etchings. The opponent did miss a land drop after scrying. I forget whether they scryed to the top or bottom. They have a 3-drop that theoretically kills Kodama. I'm debating whether I want to play the Kodama because it blocks etching of Kumano better, or to play the Wedding Announcement so that it can start ticking down to flipping. I'm going to play the Wedding Announcement. I think that's probably better in the long run. Kodama's probably stronger if I end up top decking a 4-drop, but I think if I top deck a 4-drop in this position, I'm in an okay enough spot that it doesn't really matter. And Wedding Announcement flipping a turn earlier, I think, is likely to be a bigger deal. If they do miss this land drop, again, then playing the Kodama was more impactful in the short term because they can't Igneous Inspiration something else. Or they couldn't Igneous Inspiration the Kodama. But, yeah, they did not. So, probably fine. We do not top deck a 4-drop, which means we just play Kodama. And I don't know that attacking Chandra matters. I probably just want to have more blockers on the off chance they do Igneous Inspiration the Kodama, then I can double block Kumano. There's the Igneous Inspiration. So we need to buy enough time for Storm the Festival to be relevant. Okay. Cave, you cost like infinity mana to activate? Yes. Cool. Alright. Tangled Florahedron, land drop, Wedding Announcement flips. I think this sequencing of events has justified the order that I chose to play the Kodama in. Maybe not, but I think it did. Curious the opponent's getting Environmental Sciences here when they don't have lands in hand, because that implies that their hand is full of expensive cards. Chandra, 6 loyalty, 7 is where it gets scary. Igneous Inspiration on the Florahedron, huh? Okay. Well, that's probably good for me. How much do I like Katilda? I've liked Katilda as far as being like a 2-drop mana dork that has the functionality to start putting counters on stuff. And it turned out to be a lot better with a Wedding Announcement than I was expecting, because these are apparently humans that it turns into mana dorks, which is kind of a cool deal. Like, say, right now. Should I not? No, I'm going to down-tick the Wrenn, so this is fine. Oh, they actually let it die instead of trading off the etchings? That's sort of surprising. Okay, well, going to make a big blocker then. The +1/+1 counter MDFC, yeah, I don't think it does enough for a card. So, like, the resource exchange there I don't think is satisfactory. Just having an untapped land is probably better. Ashaya or Ao? I don't think I'd want to cut a 2-drop for it, because a big part of this deck's power is that it just has a bunch of 4-drops. So, like, trying to maximize the number of 2-drop ramp spells that let you immediately play a Chariot or a Yasharn, I think is a pretty big deal. Or even, like, turning if you play 2-drop ramp spell, that also lets you play on turn 4 the Felidar thingy-mabobber before playing your land, so you immediately get the trigger off of it, which is a pretty big deal too. So I don't think the deck needs more top end, and I definitely don't think that I would trim low end to do that. Definitely not a keepable hand. Tangled Florahedron, no white mana, and no synergies. This, on the other hand, is... yuck. Okay, well, I guess we cut Tangled Florahedron then. So I guess we play Cave of the Frost Dragon. I think yeah, it's definitely completely correct to play Cave of the Frost Dragon, because that way if we draw the green Lair, the Hydra, we can play it and have minimized our number of total tap lands. But it looks like we're going to get to do that thing where we play turn 3 Chariot, which I've been told is good before. AO dying would be an advantage for Kodama, but like trying to place how that curves out is, it's hard to figure out a way in which that actually like lines up in turn order sequencing to be good, because like how are you getting the AO to die, right? They're supposed to go for the Tangled Florahedron here. We'll see if they do. They do not. Good for me. Alright, we're going to play a Fearless Fledgling and play a Fearless Fledgling and make our land drop. This is delightfully dumb. And we're going to crew with these Fledglings, attack with a Chariot, and make a cat. Oh, I love this. This is so stupid. Yep, there's a Helena and Helena. You got a 4/4 opponent, what are you doing with it? Admittedly, this is the part where the game gets really scary. They can do a lot of rather horrifying things. Oh, but Emergent Sequence is pretty good. We're gonna go get some lands. And we're gonna play a land. And our Fledglings are gonna go pop pop. Then we're gonna play Emergent Sequence. And our Fledglings are gonna go pop pop. And we're going to crew with this Yasharn. Are we? Am I attacking with these 2/2s? So we're doing 8 damage, putting them to 6. They can block both 2/2s and kill both 2/2s and go to 2. That doesn't actually make a huge difference, does it? I guess it does, because it also makes Cave lethal. I kind of feel like I'm not even supposed to... Oh, no. Helena has okay, well. Yeah, also we can concede. That works too. I don't know. Am I supposed to attack there with the 2/2s and just throw them away? In the interest of getting more damage through? Or am I supposed to get more damage through next turn? Because if I'm not attacking with the 2/2s, then I think I'm crewing with the 2/2s to leave the Yasharn back as a blocker. Because a 4/4 blocker is better than a 2/2 blocker against Helena and Helena. I don't know, maybe that's false? Maybe leaving back 2/2s is better if my opponent, like, fires off a bunch of Brutal Cathars or something? Hard to say. I feel like with the Cave of the Frost Dragon and the Forest in hand, we were probably fine here no matter what happened.